You know? Not today. Today we have the Virgo Cup for you. Welcome to the first game of the first match of the day. We have Knight Fortress in the even colors versus TodEs B. No, A in the odd colors. So let me introduce the players here before we get started. Virgo Cup is indeed eternal. I agree. It will never end. Like just wait. Like in 20 years when it's Virgo Cup 20 like 275, there's like a million players competing. How are you gonna get that all? How are you gonna keep all the team straight, Dragon? I think that would be a challenge. In any case, in the blue here, we've got Watts playing as the Poles. As the Poles. Okay, we have Poles then over here. Um, that's actually pretty awesome here. So in the green, we have Popemi. Say hi to yourself, Popemi, because he's in chat. Playing as the Magyars in the green. I like that. In the teal, we have the Valois Nico playing as the Persians. I love that as well. And I like the combo. If AoE 4 doesn't screw up the AoE community first. Yeah, that's let's just keep our fingers crossed. I don't think so. I've played Age of Empires 4, so I don't think it will screw up the Age community because it has always had a dedicated community. But lots of like casual players that just play Age of Empires for the campaign, they will definitely try Age of Empires 4. I will probably stream some as well, so keep tuned for that. In the gray here we have John W. Cook going for Mayans. I really like that. That's a good Civ choice. On the other side here in the red we have Yoga 2000 playing as the Ethiopians. I like that. In the yellow we have Hypno playing as the Sicilians. In the purple we have Alfred or LMD1 Alfred or Alfred. Alfred. Okay, playing as the Slavs. Interesting choice. That was also their last pick, so choosing Slavs here is pretty interesting. And then the orange, last but not least, we have El Godin playing as the Vikings. Well, I like that too. Considering there's no water map in the map draft right now, or at least not a map where you really need to dominate water, right? Vikings is using Vikings here is fine, especially with Britain. Britain's being banned. You kind of need a strong flank civ, so that makes sense to me. And definitely would prefer the flank civs for Knight Fortress here over those of TodEs A. Although we'll see what Poles can do, right? Because there is one thing that Poles have. They have a very good offensive capability with towers. Like being able to mine stone to get a gold trickle means that in feudal age, if you want to go towers, you actually can do that without harming your economy too much. So we'll see what Poles can do. Watts might have a fun strategy for us prepared here. And how you doing, Chanchilaru? Glad to see you here. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out here. What category is this? This is category B. Yeah. So it's the middle of the road Elo here. Knight Fortress versus TodEs A. I mean, of course, I don't really know the average Elo or the individual Elos of any of the team members because when it's a recording, I can't see Elo, so I have no idea. Like literally, I just trust that the guys from the Virgo Cup, they know what they're doing with the team Elo calculation. They're all 1300, 1400 plus. That's pretty solid actually. That's like right where I am at myself. So yeah, I imagine that if I actually joined if I had joined the Virgo Cup, I'd probably be in the category B as well. That's probably where I would end up. In any case, we should probably talk a little bit. I mean, do we want to talk about civilization? I mean, there's not really standout civilizations here. How's the casting going? Casting is, well, we're just getting started, but I know it's gonna go awesome. Like yesterday has been a really good day, and I expect today's been it's gonna be a good day as well. I haven't I? It's well, there's a lot of great games, and I want to be able to cover as much of it as I can. And welcome Pate Duck, although I don't really know what you're saying. Peroni los guisos de mi vieja. Well, if someone can translate that for me, I can reply to that, of course. We're getting there. We're getting there. My Spanish it will get better. Trust me. Even though I've been saying that for weeks now. Anyways, one civ that is kind of like stand out to me is Sicilians, and not because it's a bad civ, it's because it's not like the first pick on Patagonia in most cases here. So let's see what Hypno can do with that. The fact that they don't have a camel civ might You know, it's actually having Sicilians here is actually pretty good because you're going to be up against potential camels here. You know, you don't have that knight camel combo on the side of Knight Fortress. And how you doing, Benji? And also, thank you for sending me the recording last night because now I can actually cast your set in full, which I prefer to cast the whole set, of course, right? So thanks for that. Really appreciate that. Come on, TodEs, Peron, and my mom's stew. Oh, really? I was wondering, like, vieja was something. I thought doesn't that mean old woman? Because I remember there's a team that is called Las Viejas del Barrio, which means the old women of the neighborhood. That's what someone told me. So, oh man. And Peron, the ex-president of Argentina. You know, actually, like, I think the daughter of Peron is actually my queen. Yeah. The Queen of the Netherlands. I think her name is Maxima. I think she's from the Peron family. So who would have thought that? Yeah, we have an Argentinian queen. Yep. In Argentina, Spanish is a way of saying mom in a cool way. Oh, okay. I get it. Like, oh yeah, like in English when you say, oh, the old man, and you refer to your dad. That makes sense. Wow, okay, they're very close, these two. Look at that. That's also, there's a guy in there as well. They're very close. I think this qualifies as inappropriate behavior, dude, on the workplace. You know, come on, dude. Spanish 101 with the Red Prince. Exactly, right? Come to this channel for awesome Virgo Cup, for awesome Age of Empires, and before we miss all of this, and of course for some Spanish 101. And look at that. Look at what the Pulse player is doing, sending 4 villagers forward because we know what that is. Lots of culture here. Exactly. Diversity's good, man. So, men-at-arms, of course, for the Pulse player. Like, men-at-arms towers is such a strong strategy with Pulse. Just because you can mine stone, right? You can go to stone here, which is what the Pulse player is doing. And let's look at the resources for the Pulse player. Look at that. Getting a gold trickle right there. There you go. Little gold trickle. Now, of course, we need to see where the first tower goes up. And look at that. Look at that perfect tower. That tower is immediately going to deny most of this wood line here. That's perfect. And you can easily wall that in as well. So, I'm not sure if Orange is aware of exactly what's going on. Now, he probably saw the villagers, so that should at least tell him that, well, you're about to get towered here. Now, the only downside of this strategy is that you're investing a lot in the towers, right? You will not be able to afford archers here. So, if Orange can get a lot of archers out, it's gonna get tricky for you. Now, of course, having Magyars as your pocket is really nice because Magyars have that attack bonus, right? They get the attack upgrade for free, so you have the best scouts in the early game for sure. Better than Slavs. I mean, Slavs can spam scouts with the faster farms, but in the early game, they will lose to the Magyar scouts. So Red is going to add some more towers here. I would still wall that in, or I mean Blue. Should still wall that in at some point, but yeah. Let's see what's happening on the other side. Well, you have a main forward gold for Gray, so he can't take that. He's actually taking the gold in the back, and that is a risky gold if Red ever gets around to sniping that. Yeah, so Gray and Teal kind of hanging around. You don't want to lose military presence. Both players a bit anxious to not lose their control. As ooh, Blue. Okay. Okay, survived. And also, being a Polish villager, very nice, because you actually regenerate health. There you go. So these villagers will actually be back to full health. And also, thank you for the follow there, Pate Duck. Who really likes pate, then. Let's see, the tower will go up. The tower will it range the gold? That's the question. That's the question. As Green is sniping a bunch of villagers in the wood line as well. The men-at-arms are here to protect the villagers as well. So Purple, unfortunately, can't really do much. These archers are going to go down. I think it's smart for Green to just kind of pick those off quickly, you know, so they can't harm the villagers. And it looks like it will kind of harm the gold, but Orange desperately trying to get a tower up here because he knows he needs to have gold. Actually, he's going to rush down the tower, and this could be dangerous. It's very dangerous when there's Magyar scouts around, when there's men-at-arms around as well. Yeah, that is not the start for Orange that he would have wanted. A few villagers going down as well. And again, this is the kind of strategy that I was expecting, you know, because otherwise, why would you pick Poles as the flank? They're not the best archers, Civ. But this they can do. This they're pretty good, damn good at it, you know. So this was definitely a prepared strategy. So on the other side, what Teal and Gray here are doing, they're not necessarily pushing here. They're more saying, You know, okay, you guys are being YOLO on the other side here. Well, not really YOLO, but kind of. You guys YOLO. We're gonna keep this area under our control. We're gonna hold this area, make sure we don't lose army. And if red and yellow can't push on this side, if they can't do damage to gray, as teal losing a bunch of scouts there, now it's gonna get a bit dangerous here. Like I said, if they don't lose terrain to gray, to red and yellow here, well, you're not being pushed by Night Fortress on the other side, so then TodEs is going to be totally fine on this side. While on the other side, Orange is struggling to compete with this. The tower does go up in the end, but might just get shot down here as well. And having villagers that regenerate health is so nice, as Gray is going to lose all his archers here. But this army has not broken into his base just yet, but it's going to be a defensive... it's gonna need some defensive play here at some point. You might have to throw up a tower here somewhere. I like the walling behind with houses just to force this aggression into the TC. That's good. Even deleting a farm to do that. Look at that. That's perfect. Perfect defense. On the other side, purple still making scouts, and he kind of has to, right? He has to make scouts here, because if he doesn't make scouts, Orange is going to completely die to this. Like, there's nothing Orange can do. He's been completely pushed up all of his golds. There's a tower up on his main gold. His other gold is also towered by 2 towers as well. And that's his other gold. So he literally has no gold to make archers right now. So what you normally do in this instance is you have to go to stone somewhere. You have to go to stone and drop towers of your own. Like, you have to stop the tower, because the towers will never end. They will never end. Tower players, they will keep going until you are completely towered. And that is actually unfortunate for Orange, because guess where his stones are? Forward. So Orange actually has the worst base while he's being towered. Like, that sucks, man. Like, he has no stone whatsoever to deal with this. As purple, actually, he's making a bunch of scouts, using that slab farming eco to make scouts. Also got the +1 on his scouts as well. So his scouts are actually as strong as Magyar scouts now. And Orange, he kind of has to, right? He kind of has to fight with Vils. Is the Vil going to go down? No, survives as well. So now the Vils are taking some damage here. But I think the tower rush will end here. But honestly, did enough damage in my book. And on the other side, red and yellow were not able to weren't able to break into Gray's base, and that's gonna be troubling, that's for sure. Well, the towers will go down, the Vils will most likely go down as well, so Orange can take his gold again after this. But look how far behind he is. He's 57 food, he's on 15 villagers, stuck in feudal age forever. Your Vikings too, you know, that's the one thing you have going for you, your strong wheelbarrow handguard economy. Well, you don't get to use that now, because that's how you beat Vikings. You make sure that they don't get a free boom, or just free economy. As the villagers for blue now going to go down, but honestly, these villagers have gotten their value. So even though blue is going to lose some vils, he is almost 20 vils ahead of Orange at this point. Yeah, so Orange is in a bad spot, much worse than Gray, especially since Gray and Teal still pushing out here. Not a lot of scouts here for Yellow, because he went up to the Castle Age, so he stopped making scouts for a while. So Red is alone here with scouts that also will have +2. Yep, we'll have +2 in a second here. Ooh, so Red has to be very careful. If he loses his army right now, that's getting close to a GG moment. That's getting really close, because Orange will never be able to push. If Red and Yellow lose control of the front here, I don't think that there's a lot that they can do to push Gray and Teal at that point, and that is not good, because blue and green will just roll the right side. That's for sure at this point. Nice hill here for Gray. The Knights coming in. They have +2 now, so these archers do exactly 1 damage versus these Knights right now. Let's see, who gets first to Castle Age? Actually, it's very close. Gray and Red both getting to Castle Age around the same time, but Gray has the hill. I like how both the Knight players are trying to dodge as many shots as they can. The Knights for Yellow also have +2. They also have more attack upgrades as well, so they're a bit stronger than Teal's Knights, but Teal has more Knights on the field. And look at those lovely pumpkin hats as well. Gotta love that. But as the Knights for Yellow go down... Ooh, this is a critical moment though. Gray's gonna save his archers, gonna run away. Has the hill though, but it's Ethiopian archers. There's a lot of them as well. So I think better safe than sorry. When you have a commanding position on the other side, there's no reason to take risks as the player on this side. Like, that makes perfect sense to me. Like, especially when you're up against Ethiopian archers. Like, those archers are scary. Scary, scary archers. You thought the Pumpkinhead Knights were scary? No, man. It's Ethiopian archers. That's what keeps me up at night. They fire so fast. Yeah, you wouldn't say, but if you get into a close combat with those Ethiopian archers, it's just surprising how lethal they can be. Especially when they get Thumb Ring, especially when they get Ballistics and they don't miss anymore. Oh, man. So this is going to be it. Red and yellow need to get a decisive fight here because they know the other flank is kind of dead. Like, pretty dead. Like, if everyone is in Castle Age and Orange is stuck with 23 vills, they have to get a decisive engagement here. They have to win. It can't be 50-50. It has to be a smash victory. But is that possible when you are matched in numbers, when there's more knights on the field here for the Persian player? I mean, how do you get a smash victory out of this, right? Especially when with there being a town center up on the front gold as well, so Gray can happily take that gold right now. It's so difficult to push this now because he can always just garrison in the town center and shoot down your arrows and knights. You know, all that Teal and Gray have to do, they just have to hold. As Red is sending forward some vills, is that for a siege workshop? A castle, okay, a castle going up. That will be a really nice castle if it does go up. It gives you a lot of control of the front of Gray's base. And Gray, of course, is not happy about that. He will want to stop that. Teal's kind of sneaking from behind with the knights here. And no, Banggood. It's not a 2-vill castle, it's a 3-vill castle, right? That's much better. 4-vill castle now. Look at that. We're getting a crowd here. Yeah, it's not the most vills there. You kind of need to bring in a bit more vills. It's a risky castle, but it looks like it will go up. I don't think Gray can deny this at this point. Not with Teal going away somewhere else. I'm not actually sure where Teal's going. But yeah, so Gray's going to abandon this gold. He's just going to go to the other gold up there. Yeah, Red can't actually chase this, so that's pretty nice. And, ooh, but let's find out with the crossbows here. So Red getting some kills here for free. That's for sure. People arriving late to the party. Oh yeah, there's more people right now. Look at that. More vills coming. But, you know, better safe than sorry, honestly, right? Better safe than sorry. Because, you know, that's how doubt castles are made. When you're like, I don't want to lose my villagers, so I'll just send, I'll just send fewer, right? That's better. If I lose the vills, then I won't lose a lot. But the thing is, if you send fewer vills, if you don't commit, you often lose all your villagers you send. Whereas if you send too many vills, you might lose a few, but the castle will go up and you can just garrison inside. It's ironically, committing more usually leads to lesser losses. But yeah, the town center will get shot down here. The gold is denied for now. And for now, Red and Yellow are holding this position here. But they know they have to do some sort of a push here because, well, I mean, Blue is just going to harass Orange at this point. And Orange is not going to be able to really do something with that. And Teal's and Purple's base. Oh, that's green. That would be green. And oh, yeah. So on the other side, and this is the thing as well, right? You don't have any archer support right now. It's basically Purple against the world now. And Orange says, no, this is over. This is over. When Purple is dying here as well. Yeah, good spot there for Banggood. That's, I didn't see that just yet. Even if Red and Yellow would have been able to push into Gray's base, they still wouldn't have killed Teal. And that also means that if Purple dies, they would just swing over to Yellow. Yellow would have to send back knights to defend himself. And then at that point, there's just no way. It's pretty GG. It's just like when Purple is dying like this, right? With knights in his base, he will be off a goal to make knights himself. When Gray is still alive, despite having a castle on his face, there's not much you can do. And yeah, they realize it as well. They call it GG, and there we go. First game will go to TodEs A. And yeah, that all goes back to that successful Poles strategy. I think picking Magyars and Poles together and executing that strategy, that was the winning factor. Because it completely took Orange out of the game here. Even though Yellow is getting a bunch of kills right now. But so is Teal. So again, if it's an even trade, as Teal is also denying this castle, if it's an even trade, Teal and Gray will take that all day. That's all they have to do. Because it's completely uneven on the other side. So even if they lose all their armies right now, even though Red is actually still the only one alive still pushing, that's still not going to save them. I'm just going to speed up here because, it's GG. The entire team resigned. I thought Red maybe wanted to get his castle up, but he probably realized there's no way. But yeah, these freaking towers, man. I mean, you don't see a lot of them now, but the towers, that's what did them. I was wondering, were we going to see towers from the Poles player? Because it's got to be, right? you know, you gotta see towers from Pole's player if you pick them as flanks, because they're not that great at being archers. And thank you for the follow there, Flipapia. Yeah, but yeah, I think let's not underestimate, underestimate Popemi's contribution here in the green, because that's the thing. If it's 1v1, Pole's towers are really strong. But if it's not a 1v1, when there's a teammate that can come help you, then suddenly going out here with towers and villages is really dangerous. So there need to be scouts around to protect your units. There need to be scouts around to to snipe archers. There need to be scouts around to protect the villagers, to stop the opponent's scouts. That's really important. So honestly, just the teamwork from green and blue, that's what made them win this particular game here. Now, I think that red and yellow, as you can see, they were actually taking a better engagement there with castles. So I think red and yellow eventually would have pushed this. It's just they didn't have the time. They did not have the time. Yeah, indeed. Watt's aggression there, it was a great strat. It worked this time. I mean, I wouldn't say the Pulse Towers will always work, but I think Vikings is a good target for them as well, because you want to hurt their economy. You don't want to let them have that wheelbarrow for free, right? That's not smart, because you're always going to be behind to the Vikings player in economy. So yeah, I think I actually agree with Ben Good here. With Orange, if you see you have a Pole's opponent, you gotta scout what they're doing. If you see that they're gonna go to stone at any time, you should immediately have all the alarm bells going off in your head. Yeah, so and also then he would have known maybe to secure a stone first. Like, imagine if he had dropped a tower on his stone here. He would have been able to mine stone and just keep putting towers up in defense. You know, that kind of neutralizes the tower play. So, like Hera always says, don't overreact to towers, but also don't underreact. It's a fine balance. This was an underreaction. Because by the time it was over, he was kind of dead. And let's have a look at the statistics here. There we go. Lots of army here for red there. That was good production from him. But also lots of army from green, as you can see. And that's what killed purple as well. Like, purple was never able to match that. Yeah, it is difficult to secure stone versus bulls. Especially because the irony is that when you send villages to stone, you hurt your economy. But if you're Poles, you're actually getting gold out of it. So technically, you're not hurting your economy as much. So it's a win-win for Poles. Even if you defend properly, you're still hurting your economy, making all those towers. There is no winning there. It's only losing less than the worst-case scenario. I mean, that's kind of it. Lots of economy for a Sicilian player there. Sicilians, I don't know why Sicilians have such a great economy for some reason. Even though they don't really have that much of an eco bonus beyond getting more food on their farms for the upgrade. Actually, that is a pretty solid bonus, because I think if you get the Feudal Age food upgrade, there are games when you only have to reseed the farm the next time in Imperial Age, which is crazy. Imagine that. That saves you a lot of wood, though. Lots of gold collected here for the Mayan player. That's Mayans for you. Yeah, looking at the timeline here, like this, you can clearly see that the edge was, it was in favor for TodEs A, but not, I wouldn't say decisively so. Like, red and yellow had a shot, but they just weren't able to get into Gray's base in time. Like, that's why Gray and Teal, they knew they didn't have to take risks, because if they took risks and lost their armies, say, in the field, that would have been a completely different game. Because if red and yellow are pushing Teal and Gray, then you have a revolving door game. Then anything can happen. So, let me update the scoreboard, because I did not do that yet. So, let's see. It's TodEs A gets the point. So, there we go. Now, of course, this is a best of 3. Knight Fortress has to win the next game here in order to continue to the next round. But, of course, TodEs A will want to block that. And make sure that they secure the victory here. So we will go to the home map for Knight Fortress, which will be Urales. And I am very excited for this map. Let's go. And now let's hope it loads, because I'm always paranoid about that. And there we go, it does load. Perfect. Welcome to the second game in the first set of the day. We have TodEs A in the even colors versus Knight Fortress in the odd colors, which, by the way, Knight Fortress is an awesome team name. I don't know why, but it sounds so cool. Like, Knight Fortress. Anyways, this is Urales. As you can see, players have a Nomad yeah, quote unquote nomad start, but I mean, really, you just built your town center near where you start because that's where all your resources are. It's kind of like step, right? It's just to get into the nomad mood, which I like, you know, setting the tone of the game. Now, this is the home map for Night Fortress, so I'm going to start with them, introducing them. So in the red here, we have Alfred playing as the Italians, very good. In the yellow, we have Berbers for Hypno, I like that. In the purple, we have Yoga 2000 going for Burgundians. I like that as well. That could be pretty good. And then in the orange, no surprises there. We have Algodin going for Tatars. And I'll explain in a sec why that is not surprising to me. In the blue, we have John W. Cook going for Mongols. Interesting. Interesting. I like it, though. In the green, we have Cumans for Devalua Nico. That I did expect. In the teal, we have Popemi going for Khmer. I like that as well. Lots of spam. And then in the gray, we have Faturian, Fatu, going for Huns. And I like that as well, because it's nomad start, but no water, you know? That's everything Huns want. Our TodEs is going to replay the Neo strategy. Oh yeah, I remember, in the third week, I casted a game from TodEs A versus Neo, and that was one of the best series of the tournament. Like, I will upload that this week. That very set, by the way. It will be on YouTube this week. I have it uploaded already. I just need to like add the description and things. They also played on this map, and it was a banger of a game, all right. So we'll see. We'll see. Anything is possible, of course. I mean, these teams are very closely, evenly matched as well. But yeah, definitely, just say, like, that is definitely worth the watch. Neo versus TodEs A, that was a great series. It really was. One of the standouts from the qualifiers, for sure. As blue is bringing in a boar, and that of course is the risk of building your town center a bit further, you know, a bit away from the middle, is that the boars could be further away. But blue saves that bill, will get his hunt, because you're Mongols, and you want hunt. There's also some extra deer all around, so actually picking Mongols on a map like this is perfect, right? Look at all the extra deer that you can get. You know, like all the extra deer that you can get out of here. All the extra food. That's actually so much more deer than I thought. Yeah, Mongols is a great pick. Never mind that. Now, I thought that they were gonna pick Mongols on Islandia, right? You know, and go for Mangudai, because it's nomad. Everyone gets to go past castle and the unique units. You know, so, but actually Mongols makes a lot of sense on this map with all those deer out there. You know, you can get a fast food start here. I like humans as well. Going for a 2TC boom is very much possible in this map since you start so far away from each other. I like Khmer because you can spam. I like Huns because this is like Land Nomad, and I love Land Nomad, and I love playing Huns on Land Nomad as well. We should probably talk about the map a little bit. I mean, you know, you start with kind of standard resources here. It's a nomad start. There's lots of deer around. For the rest, you have berries, gold, and all that guff. You start with some houses as well, which is really nice. Except if you're Huns, they're probably like walking around this and they're like, what are these things? What is this? We don't need this. We just sleep on the floor under the stars. That's what we do. We're Huns. I mean, actually, Huns did use houses. Just so you know, they actually had yurts like this as well. They even built castles at some point. You know, so it's but yeah, in the game, Huns do not know what this is. But yeah, in any case, Urales, of course, is named after this giant mountain ridge in the middle of the map here, which has some extra golds on there, which I found out yesterday, actually. They're hard to see on the mini-map. But yeah, there's some extra gold. But of course, the main value of this ridge is position. Because if you get a castle up on this hill, it's so difficult to push dash. You can hardly trap that down because you're so far downhill. It's so easy to like command this position. And now, especially if you're a Tatars player, right? If you're a Tatars player. And also interesting to me here is, look what the Night Fortress team is doing here. That's militia. That's militia. They are sending forward a drush right now. Yeah, it has to be a drush because it's still made in Dark Age, so that actually qualifies as a proper drush here. So it looks like both orange and red are thinking about doing some drush shenanigans here. Only 2 militia though from red so far. He's not making another one. Orange should have 3 in there, or maybe even 4. I don't know how many it is. Let's see what red can do with them, because gray is already walled in most places here. Oh yeah, players also start with a Bactrian camel instead of a scout, which I prefer because if it's a nomad start, it's just not good to give players a scout at the start of a Nomad game, right? I mean, it's just so easy to still find villagers and kill them without them having any chance to hide in a TC or get loom, right? It's just, that wouldn't be fair. You know, and it's also kind of in keeping with the theme of the map, right? It being Central Asia. So I like that. Almost looks like a few players here going up the feudal age already. Still waiting for the Cuban player to go up the feudal age, if he's going for a 2TC boom, of course. Red now sees the walls, and is probably not very happy about that, because he now knows that, oh crap, I can't get in here. I have to do something else. Similar thing here for Blue. Actually, Blue is actually walling this up. He might have, I don't know, he might be smelling danger right here. He's walling this up forcefully just to keep the militia out. I like this. Oh, there's still a hole. Don't let that camel sit there. That camel will still block this. See what he's doing. Look what he's doing. He's blocking the opening. Blue, you had this. You had this. Blue. Oh, God. Oh, God. No. Uh-oh. John W. Cook is going to be like, oh, crap. Uh-oh. And that villager, look at the blocking also that Orange is doing with the backdrawn camel. That Drush is going to get a Vil kill as well. So the Drush already has been successful. The wall has been denied for now. And this Drush could still wreak havoc in your base. It's just not what you want to see. And you know, worse still, this Drush can kill deer. It can kill deer, and that's actually very important for the Mongol players. So, Red could do the same. He could actually find these villages on the deer as well. So he could actually find some value here. And Popemi is on the way to Castle Age. You know, is on the way there. So at least he won't, you know, he can't be delayed from that. But you can still get him off of berries and things like that. So we'll see what happens. I just wanted to see what that was. That looked weird. As, oh, there goes Red. And that villager was kind of stuck here. But yeah, it's close to the DC. Teal's just going to run away. The only thing that you normally do with a Drush is delay, right? You delay with a Drush. You just force idle time. Kill some Vils here and there. Well, I mean, not kill some Vils. Damage Vils here and there. You can't really kill villagers because, look, Vils can still fight back. Right, it's hard to fight Vils. This is actually what you're supposed to do. You just get them to chase you, and then you run away. As Blue's trying to wall out this villager, and Blue this time realizes that there's a weak fill there, though. It's a weak fill, but it's close enough to the TC, so Blue can save that, keep that walled out, drop an archer range to deal with this. But I'd say this Drush for Orange has been quite successful. And now the scouts coming in over here as well. But yeah, Teal is on the way to Castle Age, is now there, can make some knights here, so these scouts will be dealt with pretty fast. But the purple does get a kill here, using that camel to block. Like, I usually don't want to kill the camel because it's cute, but I don't know, I like camels. But it's you can't leave that alive. That is a spy. That's a cold-blooded spy. It will get your villagers killed if you leave it out of your sight. As you just saw, that camel blocking Vils. But yeah, now knights come out, and purple will know that is not a thing anymore. We are going to go away. We'll have to run away here. So, I mean, at this point, just use these scouts to scout out the rest of the map. That's probably the best idea. Red is still taking some deer as well. Green deciding not to go for a 2TC boom. Instead, went fast castle, but is already dropping the second town center right now on his wood line. So he'll just go for a standard boom in the castle age here. The Drush still alive for Red here, but I mean, it's not going to get that much value at this point, right? One knight can clear up that entire Drush. So after all is said and done, right, as Orange is killing the deer, I love that. That is so good, because this militia is not worth it, worth much anymore. But killing some extra deer, that's always food that Blue can still think about taking, right? He could still think about taking that. It's always on the table with Mongols. Like on Land Nomad, I keep spamming mills until they find my villagers and kill them. Like, it's just worth it. So if we think about like having said and done all of that, whether these Drushers have been worth it, right? Because I mean, Red is quite delayed to Castle Age here. He's only up 10 seconds ago here. He's far behind Gray, who already made it. So now, when you see that as TodEs A, right, you see that your opponent is not in Castle Age, they're not going to be able to push you, so I can add town centers, and elephants, okay, elephants for the Khmer player. I mean, Khmer elephants are pretty strong, especially right now, so, why not? It's just they are very slow, so it's going to take a while for those drunken boys to get to the other side here. But yeah, as I was saying, if your TodEs A, I mean, when you see that your opponents are still, like, half of them aren't in castlates yet, you could just add town centers and go for a bit of economy first. On Orales, you can get away with that. I do like the Huns player here going for cavalry archers. And again, you can do something like this. Because normally with cavalry archers, you're like, you have to think, am I ahead of my opponent? Because if I'm not ahead, if I go or switch into cavalry archers, I'm giving up momentum. I need to mass those first. And that could be a window where my opponent can hurt me. But if your opponent is stuck in feudal age, you have time to get at least 12 cavalry archers on the field or something like that, right? So by the time that crossbows start to come out for red here, you're already going to have cavalry archers on your face here. So gray, you know, being able to switch into CA here. Who's and you know, you really got to ask with a drush, right? Who is delaying who? Because all that that investment could actually still hurt your own economy. So it's ironic, but in the end, red now. Oh, as that archer keeps the gate open. No way. No. That freaking archer, the traitor archer, holding the gate open here. I mean, there's some archers here from red to defend. So gray, lacking a few upgrades here and there, like bloodlines is an important one. We'll just run around, do a bit of harassing here. Might pick a villa up here and there. Yeah, the archers are chasing. We'll be crossbows in it. Well, we'll be crossbows soon, I hope. Oh, and the CA can actually run away. Look at that. It's still open in the back. I'm not sure if red assumes that this is closed, but it's open in the back, so he will have to wall this at some point. But yeah, if gray runs away here, then red will probably figure it out. He's also going for a castle. Is that enough? That's enough villagers for a castle, as he's fighting with Vils, because I gotta do something. Well, it actually worked. So, going on the other side. All that deer makes it look like yellow is doing things, you know? As the elephant chugs forward over here. It's only one elephant, bloodlines coming in, so it will have more HP, so will the knights. And red, as he is defending in the back here, chasing away these archers, well, knights at the front. And this elephant has bonus damage versus buildings, should deal with this gate very quickly, as we have... Wait, we have a castle for the Berbers player. We get camel archers. Honestly, I kind of like that. You know, when the Hun player goes for cavalry archers, camel archers directly counter that. Directly counters that. Like, Berbers are the Hun's worst nightmare. Like, literally, fighting against Berbers is awful. As Popemi says, those elephants were misclicks. Well, they were glorious misclicks. When the elephant is like talking to you, it's like, you know, like, where do I come from, Dan? And you're like, no, you were a misclick. Don't tell them that, though. They'll feel bad about themselves. I mean, it's forcing some repairs here from red, so just happy accidents. Exactly, quoting a great man there in Bob Ross. Yeah, the only thing is that Berber camel archers, they don't really do a lot of bonus damage versus knights at all. So they're not like, knights are actually a fine counter. Because I mean, even if they can't chase down the camel archers, they can still force them to keep running away at all times here. So that's just a lot of micro. It's intensive micro, and in the end, if you have to micro a lot, unless you're leery, you're gonna slow down your economy. Like, I can't do it, for example, as we have to no one's surprise, cavalry archers from Orange. I mean, duh, right? The Tar player. Gonna be up against cavalry archers from the Mongols, which are actually better in this age because they fire faster. Mongol cavalry archers fire faster than normal CA. So I like Mongol cavalry archers better than Tatar cavalry archers right now. Once the Tatar player gets the upgrades, that's when I like Tatar's CA better. Also, Tatar player has the hill, and he's never going to leave that hill as well. He's just going to sit there, mass his CA, and there's really no way that that blue can deal with that. So, like I said, I like Mongol cavalry archers, but not when they're downhill from the Tatar cavalry archers. Oh no. That's not a place you want to be with your army. And some Burgundian Cavalier were trying to get... Looks like they did get into Teal's economy, but I don't think they got... I think they got some kills here in the wood line. Looks like some villagers did go down, but in the end, he's just going to have to run away here. You know, I think players being so far away in Urales gives them a lot of, you know, opportunity to kind of boom into weird units like this. As red is going to force down a castle. This castle has to go up because gray is here. Gray is here with the cavalry archers. He could deny this. There's knights here as well. Yellow's trying to chase from behind. Teal could even force him away here. Red is force clicking this castle, but honestly, I saw a video lately that if you click it this fast, you might actually slow down your castle building time. You gotta kind of find a nice balance in mashing. Red getting very close. The castle is at 85% or something like that. Enough villagers are building. This castle should go up. It does go up, and Gray and Teal have to run away. But at what cost? Because Red took a bunch of villager losses here. Red also blocked off this path now. So Gray, you know, he wanted to run away there, but the unit's path to the left. As Gray is gonna force his way through the palisade walls here, will run away, but look how fast these cavalry archers die to the camel archers. Gray! Okay, runs away. They're cheap. It's okay. It's okay. The cavalry archers are cheap with Huns. How many veils does Red have left? Let's check. 33. Oof. Compare that with 83 for the Khmer player. No, not the Khmer player, for the human player. Yeah, Green has not really been investing in knights yet. He's just been booming. He's at 83 villagers now, and that without a 2TC boom, by the way. Oy. I mean, Burgundians have great economy, but humans have better cavalry. So for now, Blue, you know, because Orange and Purple are a bit hesitant to push out here, Blue has been able to defend this on his own right now, but Red dead. Yeah, Red is... I mean, he's not. I wouldn't say he's dead yet, but he's not very alive. That's for sure. He doesn't have an army on the field, but I think that's just going to be Genoese crossbowmen then, right? I mean, he was already on it. Yeah, there you go. He was already on stone before he had to drop it, so I think that was his intention all along. Unfortunately, right now, these Cavalier, of course, are tough to deal with, but they lack some armor and attack upgrades as well. We do have, like, most upgrades here for the Tatar player like that. Mongol player... Of course, this is level terrain, so the Mongol player should have the edge here with the micro, but of course, it's so difficult to deal with these freaking Cavaliers. You know, you're doubled right now, and Blue's just trying to make sure, trying to keep this army out of his base, but Purple just runs in, Orange runs in here as well. They probably feel like they have to do some damage here because Red is in such a bad position right now. They feel like, you know, they have to counter Blue somehow and make sure he doesn't get to a giant, massive Mongol cavalry archers here. But yeah, there's just not much damage that you can do here. You lack bloodlines, so fighting under TC is not ideal. Of course, there's always Green that's lurking around here as well. And you don't want to get trapped in here as well. Oh man, imagine if Green had moved in here when Orange and Purple were still here. Green could have totally trapped this entire army. And that would have been, well, that would have been pretty bad. Just let's put that in a euphemistic way. Very, very bad. What's also not good, not very encouraging here for Purple is that he is 15 villagers behind to Green. So Green's economy is significantly better. Green will be able to get up to Imp much faster than Purple would. But also, he could also spam more knights and castellates here. And I know these are, you know, they seem like strong units, right? Because they're Cavalier, but they're still Burgundian Cavalier. They only have as much HP as a normal knight. But yeah, of course, Green cannot take a fight here unless Blue is close by as well. As what is Yellow doing here? Yellow's chasing CA, and it looks like, uh-oh, those CA are trapped. They can't get out. There's no way out of this. So Gray is gonna lose most of these, if not all. Yeah, there's no way. As we have another fight over here. Purple losing a bunch of his Cavalier here now. That's not good. The Cuban player spamming knights right now, using that superior economy to do so. And the Tatar player is like, yeah, let's get back to our hill. That's what we like. We're Tatars. We like to sit on hills. As Gray and Teal are trying their best to force their way out of here, but there should be enough camel archers here to deal with these cavalry archers. Right? Yeah, I mean, it should. Like, I said, look at that little bit of runner micro there from Gray. Look at that. Dodging some shots. Well, it's actually dodging a bunch of shots. You know, any shot you can dodge is better, but in the end... Well, I mean, you know, it was a pretty even trade. There was a bunch of cavalry archers that have gone down for Yellow there. So, who knows? Burgundian Castle now up for Purple. At least he will have that position. I wonder if Purple will ever go for Flemish Revolution. as blue loses the camel as well. Yeah, cleaning that up pretty nice, but did cost him a bunch of camel archers. And with camel archers, same thing goes as for cavalry archers. You gotta mass them, and it's so much more difficult when you're working with castles instead of anything else. And right now, green just keeping his army at home. There's no reason to go forward and be risky there. Just go up the imp, and then we push this position. Now, it is very difficult to push this position uphill, but if you start over here, right, you go over here, you build a castle yourself, and then push across the ridge. That's actually easier. That's how pros would do it as well. As we have 14, 14, 14 in chat. Yeah, I know, it's a bit more passive this game. I think that's because players are further away from each other. Like, they're further away. It takes a while to get units over there, so they're taking a more boomy approach here, making it a lot more military, but it's sure to go down sooner or later. As Red, well, makes his way into Grey's base. Grey cannot fight this with cavalry archers at all. Cannot fight this with cavalry archers. And thank you for the follow there, Nico. Ay, 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 ay. And these skirmishers, how many upgrades? Okay, he does have the Castle Age armor upgrade there, so at least the skirmishers are decent, but it's still not ideal, right? Still not ideal, especially against Genoese crossbowmen. I mean, they have a bit more HP. Actually pretty solid. When I like this as well, Orange getting another castle up to the right of this castle, you know, controlling more of this hill. Like, they want to make sure that blue and green, you know, if they try to push across here, can't push across. But this is a scary army. This is a scary army. And it's not just because they have pumpkin heads. It's because there's so many of them. Oh boy. And if you compare that to Purple's army, Purple is on the way to Imperial Age, has a similar economy to Green, but the army numbers aren't there yet. Green far ahead in that. You know, and blue and orange are equal in army numbers. Actually, orange has more cavalry archers, so I guess he has the advantage there. While green makes it to Imperial Age first, the fight is about to go down here. Teal's still chasing some camel archers, and like I said, I mean, knights get they kind of get counted by camel archers because camel archers are faster, can run away, kite. You know, that's what they do. But you're still forcing a lot of micro from yellow. And again, I think that's still worth it. Castle now going up in Teal's base. He probably knows what time it is. You know, it's kind of like, I don't want those in my base. That's a lot of camel archers already. Didn't overchop there. Nope, that's good. Yeah, so these camel archers get a kill, but won't be able to get a lot more kills here. So, it's fine, it's fine. Oh boy, it's about to go down now. It's about to go down. As both Purple also in Imperial Age, as the Cuban player is also in Imperial Age. Not getting the got the Cavalier upgrade just a second ago. Is getting his got his armor, is getting his attack upgrade. Now forcing his way up the hill. He has to make it all the way up the hill here because otherwise the Tatar player is too strong to deal with. The extra bonus damage that you get is it's real. It's real. As we have some Mangudai mixed in now for blue, so he must have dropped the castle. Yep, there it is. Castle for blue. I was wondering if he was going to switch into Mangudai at some point because, well, you know, Mangudai are better than cavalry archers from Mongols, that's for sure. Not sure. Red's being pushed back by these skirmishers now, so Grey is defending. Teal is leading away these Berber camel archers, so it's all eyes should be on the left side right now. This is where it's gonna go down. Whoever wins this side probably is in a good position to win the game. And green taking the hill right now. Purple and orange, they probably saw that, so they'll have to deal with that. But green is going to be like, nah, why would I fight on this hill? You like the hill, so I'm going to go somewhere else. Forcing purple and orange to chase this. Orange was actually walling this off right now. He's actually getting this walled. I like this. I like this a lot. Walling the whole side, actually. It's going to make it so much more difficult for this army to run through. But green is doing it nevertheless. Berber camel archers are also chasing right now. But these walls, there's so many walls right now. This was a prepared strategy from a Night Fortress, that's for sure. Stone walls. Yeah, actually, I think that is a thing that I've not seen a lot of teams do in this tournament. Stone walls. And you might think, like, oh, why would you stone wall the map? But it's for setting yourself up for late game trade. Like a lot of professional teams, what they'll do, they'll stone wall like this. Just block off the middle of the map as much as you can and defend choke points as Paladin comes in for green. Paladins that are much stronger than the Paladins for the Burgundian player, especially because the Burgundian player lacks a few essential technologies here. Green is itching to take the fight here. He's itching to take the fight. But again, see how difficult it is to push these freaking positions. As long as purple and orange keep their army around this hill, it's going to be so difficult for green and blue to push this. I think they could do it with the spam that is about to happen here from green. We have a castle now from the Khmer player just to protect the front. Gray right now is being pushed away by a castle, but he's still holding on. He's still holding on. It's fine. But yeah, all eyes should be on the left side. This is the defining moment here. As purple and orange, they're looking for a fight. They're looking to kill off a player here. Going to run into blue's units here, and there they go. Not sure. I'm not. Of course, having Berbers here is so nice because it counters whatever the Mongol player is making right now. It's going to force green to come here as well. As blue is also stonewalling. Look at that. They learn fast. They're like, oh, you stonewall? Waller boy? I'll stonewall. Well, the castle age will push back these units right now. Green is... Oh, he's looking for a fight here. He's waiting for it. The Berber player now kind of abandoning, the rest of the team here. A trebuchet rolling forward as well for purple. This is going to force the fight. Green coming in from behind right now. Purple is waiting for him, but again, purple does not have the same numbers as green right here. Oh, but yellow is chasing away this army. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, green should not be chasing yellow here. Unless he can trap it. Coming in from behind with some paladin as well. Yellow now is trapped. This entire camel archer army is trapped. Blue can delete the houses right now, and all these camel archers will go down. Actually really good. Forcing the fight on two sides now. Blue's attacking from the other side. Is taking down the trebuchet first because he wants to keep the castle up. Yellow camel archers have gone down. Blue actually keeping those houses there just to trap it there. And look at this. Oh, this is not good for the Tatar player at all. Orange, micro. That was horrendous for him. Look how many CA went down. CA are so... Even when you get silk armor with Tatars, right? They are still not very good in melee. As purple now finally taking the fight here. There's about as many purple paladins here. About as many green paladins here as Rock Knuckles is singing Wonderwall in chat. But now there's a lot of cavalry archers and Mangudai here for blue. More paladin making his way in from the right. Purple is losing ground here. They're being pushed back to the hill. They realize we have to take the hill again and defend from there. Heavy CA coming in for both players here. I like that the Mongol player, who still had a lot of CA left, decided to go for that. Going on the other side. Position being taken by Grey. I love that. That's what the Mangudai was saying when the green paladins appeared. Yeah. Exactly. Who's going to save you? It's the green paladin, that's what. I love the position from teal and gray. They're actually like creating a nice position for themselves on the other side. I think yellow going to drop a castle over here as well. Orange is dropping more castles. Night Fortress is taking the left side of the ridge. We have ourselves a game, people. We have ourselves a game. Like, this is not over yet. It's all going to be about who can actually break the ridge control here. And it's actually really smart from teal and gray that they get themselves some position on the hill here. Because otherwise, Night Fortress would have just denied the entire ridge here. And now you have a nice hill to trap down this castle from. Lots of Genoese crossbowmen. Like, both these armies counter whatever is being made here. Except the skirmishers. The skirmishers are kind of difficult to deal with. You probably get the last armor upgrade here as well. Yeah, I agree. Burgundian's kind of lacking in late Imperial. It's just because you missed that heavy cavalry. You don't have bloodlines. It really hurts. As skirmishers are decimating the Genoese crossbowmen for red. The stalemate is being broken on this side. Siege ram coming forward for the Huns player. That's the best siege unit that they have if you don't count the Tarkans here as well. Green and blue still debating each other a little bit on the front as teal is adding skirmishers. Adding skirmishers, which will get wrecked by the paladin, of course, but they will eat up the Tatar. Well, they will definitely contribute to killing the Tatar cavalry out here. As we have another pitched battle, but a lot of purple's paladins are going down. It's so deceptive, right? You have paladin, you feel so powerful. With Burgundians, it's just never the same. It never feels quite the same. The human player just has the better paladin. It's 20 more HP, it really matters. And on the other side, ooh, will the Hussars get in? Hussars do get in. Can block off the wall here as well. I mean, I guess he's not going to care about that, but Hussars getting into the back of your economy. Red is slowly dying to this. Siege ram is not something that Red can deal with. There's no way. He has nothing right now. Kiki saying they were too passive and now a snowball effect. I agree. On the right side, it was a bit too passive here. I mean, Yellow was doing a good job raiding on the left, but in the end loses his army over here, and then there's not much that he can do right now. And now on the left, we have a stalemate, which is fine for blue and green, but it's not fine for orange and purple, because they know they have to push. They have to push, but guess what? It's kind of like the downside of the Tars. Because you feel so strong on hills, it feels kind of scary to leave the hill. It feels kind of scary to leave the hill as Teal makes his way into Yellow's base, and villagers are going to die here because these camel archers will have to chase each and every hussar here, which is going to take a while. The gap in the hole is still open. If anything, red should probably block that off, but hussars are streaming in. The Khmer player, you know... Oh yeah, the Tatar could go for super hussars, that's true. But yeah, the Khmer player now streaming in hussars. Look at that queue. Look at the farming economy from Teal. This is exactly what Khmer want to do in late game. Just stream in more hussars, more hussars. And the GG is called. Red resigns. He realized that I'm going to die to this. There's no way that I can stop this. There's no way that Yellow can stop this flood of hussars. Get good or get flood, huh? Yeah. Anyways. And the GG is called. Knight Fortress taps out. TodEs A will win here, and now, yeah, and at the same time here, green and blue are taking the position on the hill as where drown in hussars. Yeah, exactly, that's the right word here. As, yeah, look at that, the Tatar player was thinking about adding some hussars of his own with the extra HP, but it's too late. It's too late. Orange, unfortunately, he'll just have to micro to eternity here. He cannot kill this spam of paladins. Trade is being set up in the corners as well. Look at that. I love that we're getting some trade here. Urales is actually a really good map for that, because often case the back of your base is open. Whoa. Yeah, most games that were stuck in late Imperial were defined by hussars. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like, I must say, like, that's one thing that I'm still, like, one thing that I don't see a lot is that, like this. Stonewalling up for late game and getting trade started, right? These teams were actually busy doing that, so I really like that. I really like that. I think that's something that most teams could improve on, is getting trade rolling, because you see that a lot of teams, they get to that nice gold army in the late game, but then they start to run out of gold, and then it's hussars, and then suddenly a civ like Poles are become OP. Well, if you get trade going, you can just spam paladins forever. That's what pro players would do, and I think that's definitely something that you know, that some teams could improve upon. But in any case, GG, well played by both teams here. Deserved victory for TodEs A. They will move on to the quarterfinals here. Knight Fortress, unfortunately, will be out of the tournament. But of course, good luck for next time to them. Oof, this was a good set. This was a good set. Good to start off the day. You know, I kind of like starting off with Category B, because most of those games are super solid. Like, they've been a lot of fun. And they did not disappoint me. They did not disappoint at all. In the end, it did go down on the left, and we thought this was going to be the decisive moment, but it was actually Grey and Teal who just got a little position, started streaming forward some sea tramps, and that's what really swung the game into their favor here. Really good stuff. Let's look at the statistics as I update the scoreboard, because you know, just for fun. Here we go. There we go. Let's have a look at the statistics here. Very good KD for Grey. Skirmisher switch actually helped a lot, killing all those Genoese crossbowmen. And yeah, GG. And also welcome Hyakas in chat, because it says first time chat, new viewer. You know, I like to welcome new people that chat for the first time. Let's see, lots of kills here for Yellow as well. I mean, like I said, Yellow, I mean, although he wasn't pushing on the right, he was actually getting a bunch of kills all around, you know, forcing Grey to make something else than cavalry archers, that's for one. Harassing Teal, harassing, you know, on the other side as well. So that was pretty good. That's what you should be doing with camel archers anyways. But in the end, didn't have the mass to stop that snowball from Teal and Grey. Just didn't. Look at that human economy, man. Yeah, Green went for a greedy boom, man. He was like, okay, you guys don't want to attack? That's fine. We'll just boom. And he didn't even go for a 2TC boom. He just did a standard 3TC boom in Castellate and got way ahead in the Vil count. Yeah, so that was really good. That was really good. Oh, you guys do quarterfinals on Sunday. Awesome. Let's see. That's 10 o'clock. That's 9 o'clock for me. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Best boomer in our community. I mean, it was a very solid boom, so I could see that. So also like the sling going on here as well, slinging some food or some other resources to Teal to help him get that Hussar spam going, which is good stuff as well. Great boom there for Gray. Like, look at the booms on the side for TodEs A. We're a bit stronger there. I mean, this almost qualifies as an overboom, right? As an overboom. But yeah, you delete some bills afterwards, so that makes sense after that. And oh yeah, thanks Gakas. A good stream. I appreciate the feedback. Really do. Oof. Let's just look at the timeline just for fun. Yeah, at the end, with that push from Teal and Gray, that was yeah, Red was never really able to get into the game. I know I like Genoese crossbowmen, but the problem with them on the map like this is that, again, you're so far away from your opponent. It's so difficult. It's so difficult to get to your opponent and push, right? It takes so long. So mobile units are all the rage on Erratas, in my opinion. So maybe next time put the Berber player on the flank, right? Go Camel Archers, and then have a strong Paladin Civ as the pocket. Or maybe even Spanish, right? Then you can do both. You can do Conquistadors, but you can also do Paladin. It's all about options. So yeah. Yeah, Fatu is a boomer.